Hi, this is Christian, and welcome back to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, Week 15 predictions. It's the game of the week and could be the game of the year, as the New England Patriots take on the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field. Now, the New England Patriots had a setback on Monday Night Football down in Miami when Jay Cutler and the Dolphins took the Patriots down 27-20, and so now the Patriots really have no room for error if they want to achieve the number one seed, with the Pittsburgh Steelers flying high on their big comeback wins against the Ravens and also the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Steelers, well, they could be the best team in the AFC, or they could be the third best team in the AFC. We don't know because they've been playing pretty tight against some inferior opponents like the Bengals and the Packers, and even the Ravens, even though that's a division rivalry, so you know how that goes. But the Jaguars are creeping up and trying to fight for a number 2 seed as well. So this game will go a long way to decide who will get the 2 byes in the AFC. Now, who will win this game? Well, it is in Pittsburgh and the Steelers have been playing arguably the best football in the league. But I can't really see the Patriots losing twice in a row after losing down to the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. So I'm taking the New England Patriots to win the game. Dylan's prediction is the New England Patriots. It's an AFC West rivalry when the Chargers take on the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Now for the Chargers, well, I thought they were dead in the water after 0-4, a very talented team with Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers, but they just couldn't seem to get the close wins and it was going to be another 6-10 season for the Chargers. But it seems like they're playoff bound, or at least poised to do that, but they'll have to take down the Kansas City Chiefs, which got a huge win over a division rival in the Oakland Raiders. And while the Chiefs, well, you know their story. They started off 5-0, and now the Chiefs are fighting for their playoff lives. Now, will the Chiefs make the playoffs? Well, there's a pretty good shot. 9-7 or 10-6 will most likely be able to get them in the AFC this year, but the Ravens are certainly climbing up there. Tennessee has battled their way, and even the Bills and Raiders are still fighting for a playoff spot, and the Dolphins got a win. So there's a lot of competition, and the Chiefs have a lot of football to be played. And the Chargers, well, I think they're the hottest team in the division right now, but it can all be halted here with the Kansas City win on Saturday night. Ultimately, who's going to win this game? Well, I'm going to take the hot team right now. Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers get the job done on the road. Dylan's prediction is the Kansas City Chiefs. It's an AFC East battle when the Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Now, it was the Miami Dolphins defeated the New England Patriots by the score of 27-20 on Monday Night Football in one of the biggest upsets of the season to keep their narrow postseason hopes alive. And against the Buffalo Bills, well, it'll be a tough challenge with their great defense. LaShawn Shady McCoy ran ruckshod all over in the snow, and now the Bills, well, they have a 6th spot in the AFC currently right now with the Ravens' narrow loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think the Bills will most likely have to win out if they want to make the postseason. 9-7 could sneak them in, but with the competitive AFC 6th spot with the Ravens, Chargers, Chiefs, and a bunch of others fighting for that, well, I think they're going to have to win out, and that includes an upset against the New England Patriots most likely. Now, who will win this game? Well, the Dolphins certainly looked impressive against the New England Patriots, but I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills at home with hopefully Tyrod back to get the job done. Dylan's prediction is the Miami Dolphins. It's a prime-time matchup when the Dallas Cowboys and Oakland Raiders fight for their playoff lives on Sunday Night Football. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, well, they had a big-time win when Jason Witten, Dak Prescott, Rod Smith, and the crew got the job done against a floundering Giants team. And the Raiders, well, they had their butts handed to them against the Kansas City Chiefs 26-15. And Derek Carr apologized for his subpar performance, and I think we'll see him bounce back in a big way. Amari Cooper was held receptionless in a big loss to the Chiefs, but I think that he will step up in a big way against the Cowboys team that is just trying to fight game in and game out to try to stay alive in the postseason hunt. Now, I think the Raiders, well, I don't see them making the playoffs this year with the 6th spot in the AFC being super competitive, and after a loss to the Chiefs, that pretty much doomed them. But you never know. They could win out and see what happens. But I think at home in Oakland, they're going to get a big win and eliminate the Dallas Cowboys and keep their playoff hopes alive. Dylan's prediction is the Dallas Cowboys. How about a bonus fifth game to talk about as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Seattle Seahawks? Now I'll briefly talk about this one, but this game is huge for the NFC West and maybe the Seattle Seahawks' chances and even the Rams' chances. Now despite how the Rams have started this season, a loss here would maybe doom them for the NFC West and they might have to go on the road in the postseason. Now they're pretty good shape for the playoffs with their schedule coming up, but they want to win and get a home playoff game for the fans in LA. And the Seahawks, well, after their debacle at the end of the Jaguars game, they want to get back on track. And I think they can, especially being at home, and Russell Wilson wants to bounce back from a 3-interception performance against the dynamic Jaguars defense. Now, who will win this? Well, I can't see the Rams losing twice to Seattle in the same season, and even though it is at CenturyLink, I will take the Los Angeles Rams to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Dylan's prediction is the Los Angeles Rams. Now the player of the week is Miami Dolphins cornerback Xavier Howard. Now I could have given this to Jay Cutler, but I'm going to give it to the cornerback that has really struggled this season, but came up clutch in a must-win game against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. He had 2 interceptions and a couple of pass breakups, which really gave the Dolphins hope on defense and propelled Jay Cutler and the Miami Dolphins with Kenyon Drake as well to a big primetime win on Monday Night Football. Hopefully he can keep it up and improve the Dolphins' defense. We're going to first take a look at the NFC playoff picture. Now the Panthers look to be in pretty good shape, but they're not out of the woods quite yet, with Green Bay and Atlanta to finish off the season. Meanwhile, the Falcons take on the New Orleans Saints, and if the Falcons win out, they win the division, so they have it right there for them, and they just have to keep winning. For the Seattle Seahawks, they had a setback against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they still have games against the Dallas Cowboys, and of course the Rams, and if they win those, they're in good shape as well. And for the Detroit Lions, they're going to definitely have to win out with the losing tiebreakers to the Falcons and Panthers, 2 teams they lost to, so they'll definitely have to win that. The Packers, they get Aaron Rodgers back, and they have a shot if they can win out. And the Dallas Cowboys, again, they're most likely going to have to win out and get some help as well. Now for the AFC playoff picture. We start out with the Kansas City Chiefs, and although they still might make the playoffs, it's been a disappointing second half of the year after starting 5-0 and looking arguably like the best team in the league to maybe not even making the playoffs. And speaking of teams that might make the playoffs though, it's the Chargers, and well, after their 0-4 start, they probably looked like a team that was going to contend for the number 1 spot in the draft, but now they've reeled off a couple of great wins, and now are in the thick of the AFC West hunt and the wild card hunt. The Bills, the Ravens, and the Titans are all fighting for the 6th spot. The Ravens certainly have the runner-up spot with their easy schedule, and the Titans could also get the 5th or 6th seed as well, but they have a tough schedule coming up with the Rams, and also an interesting game against the 49ers, and to finish off the season with the Jaguars. So if they can't win against the 49ers, watch out, the Titans may fall out of the playoff picture entirely. For Week 14 recap, the most entertaining game was Ravens and the Steelers, and the upset of the week was the Dolphins over the Patriots. My record prediction for Week 14 was 6-10, and Dylan's was 8-8. For me, the entire year, it comes out to 129-79, and Dylan's comes out to 118-90, which for me, that comes out to 62%, and for Dylan, it comes out to 56.7%.